This is my third time in Malaysia now, and I wanted to share with you some culture shocks and things that have struck me. And I will admit this first culture shock is more my fault than anything because I didn't do a whole lot of research. I was just going all around Southeast Asia. Unlike other Southeast Asian countries, Malaysia is very multicultural. Only like 60% of the Malaysian population is ethnically Malay, whereas the other 40 is a mix of
lots of mix.
Chinese, Indians, and other ethnic. And you can see this in the daily life. You can walk around the street and you see a mosque and a Buddhist temple on the same street, Hindu temples, churches, all that stuff. And it's not a common sight in Southeast Asia or most of the world, really. So it's a very unique experience. Another ways it manifests is in language. Bahasa Melayu is the official language of Malaysia, but all over the streets you will hear many languages like Chinese, Tamil, even English. Can you speak English? There is food for every palate here. You have Malay cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Indian cuisine, many spices, cooking with coconut, or especially the cooking with coconut. You have nasi lemak, lemak gravy, just very, very rich cuisine. But keep in mind, Malaysian cuisine can also get quite spicy. I can handle it by now, but if you have a soft palate, be wary. The food has some kick to it here. And speaking of food, you will find food at any time of the day here. 24 hours, there is always a place open. Even in the smaller towns, there's a mamak that serves food 24 hours. So there's always an option here in Malaysia. And on to the next thing, which I think is more of an Asian thing than strictly Malaysian, is a lot of people eat dessert before the main course, which is a thing that I, to this day, still can get quite used to. But I can appreciate the idea of having dessert whenever I want. Don't be shocked when your Malaysian friends invite you out to eat or in their home and they start eating with their hands. It is quite common practice here, and it's a thing I really appreciate, to just be able to be in contact with the food and just be able to grub, and something I really appreciate as an Italian. Another thing I discovered in Malaysia was the QR payment. In Italy, we're still quite far behind on electronic payments, and there's a big stigma on paying with credit card on amounts that's less than 5-10 euro. Whereas here, no matter the amount, even if it's 1 ringgit, perfectly fine to just take your phone, scan the QR, and just pay whatever you have to pay. And I think it's a pretty nifty method of paying as well. And it's not big establishments either. Even places you don't expect it, like small stalls or in the night markets, most places have a QR payment option. So I think that's pretty cool and convenient. Another point for all you toilet paper enthusiasts, in a lot of places except hotels, there is no toilet paper. But you will find a little sport water gun to take care of your washing necessities. But one of the biggest shocks, which is weather related, is the AC. Sometimes I'll be walking into shops and feel like I have to put on a jacket. It's so cold in there. And even the temperature, like for example in Italy, it's illegal to have AC below 18 degrees, whereas I've been in rooms where the temperature is as low as 16 degrees. One shock, which I feel is more Southeast Asian than strictly Malaysian, is the infatuation with ghost lore. There are literally dozens of types of ghosts in Malaysia, and they can range from the floating head to good-natured ghosts to evil ghosts, helping ghosts, sneaky ghosts. And you will see this also reflected in cinema. There are countless horror movies. The thing is, if you go to a movie theater to watch one of these movies, you will even see families with their own kids to these movies. I thought that was interesting, and definitely not something you see in Italy every day. Keep in mind while booking your hotel, if you're a light sleeper, that some prayer calls throughout the day can be quite loud, and they can start as early as 5 in the morning. While harmonious, you might get waken up. And not just mosques, even many Hindu temples do this as well. Keep this little piece of information in mind, especially if you're a light sleeper. Another thing you have to get ready for, and this is not really a cultural shock, but more of a weather one. Sometimes you will be walking around, it's a nice sunny day, and then boom, all of a sudden there's a monsoon. Just the most rain you will ever see in your life in that moment. Oh, also, and I have no idea how I forgot this, you're probably aware that in Asia, you take off your shoes before stepping inside the house. That's also the case for many small businesses. You will see either a shoe rack inside or outside will be full of shoes and slippers. Or if there's no one inside, just a sign. I was actually scolded once by the owner of Adobe place. Adobe is where you can get your laundry done, because I didn't notice the sign on the floor, so be aware, okay? So this is all I can think of off the top of my head. If I will think of more things, I might make a second part to this video. Please share with us your stories of cultural shocks in Malaysia or Asia in general. Subscribe for more travel and food videos. Always happy to share those. And thanks for watching.